live. That's what they tell me on the YouTubes. I think I'm live. And boy, do I look haggard. Sorry, you guys. Been a rough week so far. And I almost canceled tonight's live stream, and then I thought, what would I rather do right now than just sit and smoke? But, yeah, well, I don't know if we'll get into all that. It's just comes down to, hey, Scott, comes down to, the day job versus the hobby turned second full-time job, which is the pipe Nook, which is what I want to be doing. And there's constantly that clutch point these days where I really need to let the day job go. And it just comes down to insurance. That's the thing that is keeping me at the day job. But it's going to get to a point where that's unfair to them, and I'll just have to let it go. That's what I'm hoping. Anyway, let me get my messages going here on my computer. There we go. So we got Sasquatch Piper. Sasquatch Piper says, what? Question mark. What's that about? You tell me, and I will answer. Dr. Davy, the tunnel take. Johnny Osprey in Rhode Island. Oh, Scott, that's good. I'm glad to hear that. Send me a picture sometime if you think about it. Oh, I just cracked this bottle. And just to prove that I don't only drink IPAs, I've got some Guinness Extra Stout. I don't know how many of you have had the Extra Stout, but it is actually a stout. People call Guinness Draught a stout, and honestly, it's like drinking chocolate milk to me, which ain't nothing wrong with chocolate milk. Every now and then I really want that Guinness Draught. But the Extra Stout is what I would actually call a stout. Still not a high gravity beer, like 5.6%. That's around what a lager typically is. Smells chocolatey. And there we go. Pensacola Bay Brewery is a local brewery here in town. That's where I got this glass from. This is going to give me a beer mustache. And you'll notice I don't ice my stouts. I only do that with IPAs. It's just that I typically am drinking IPAs. But, every now and then I get in the mood for a stout. Sasquatch, so I'm guessing you can hear me now. Piper said, I always just want to say Piper said. Good, you can hear me all right. Kenjiro, if you're going to use oil, try a food grade mineral oil instead. That might be a good idea. Discrowned, that sounds like a metal band. Hello from Sweden. I bet you're in a metal band, aren't you? All right. What am I going to smoke today? Um, Might smoke my Fatchin. I think this is the 110 shape. I'm looking for it. Yeah, 110. But I've been smoking mostly a lot of Kia blends in this. Tell you what I might do. Let's dig into the. I've got some Rubbermaid containers of opened square tins in here. Let's see what's in here. Eric, I left the Esoterica for you guys. Not that I don't like it, but I got plenty of tobacco for now. Let's see. Bring out the trusty 320. I might do that. So I've got an open tin of Freiburg and Trier, or Fribourg and Trier. Cut Virginia Plug. I've been smoking this the last week or so. This tin's from 2016, so it's got 5 years age on it. This one's from 2015. It's a HH Pure Virginia from McBaron. Haven't smoked that in a while. Got some HH Burley Flake. This is from 2018, so only 3 years on it. Probably sit that to the side. McBaron's Vanilla Flake, that's rather new. Just cracked that. And I would just rather it not have the vanilla, to be honest with you. That's tends to be how I do with aromatics these days. I'm like, it's either terrible or it's good, but I kind of wish it was either lighter on the aromatic or just not aromatic. Oh, and then I've got some, this is probably what I'm going to go with, some Solani aged Burley Flake. And this tin is from, doesn't say, but I'm going to guess it's from around the same time as most of these others, so 2015, 2016, something like that. I'm going to go with that. Solani aged Burley Flake. And just for Discrowned, we'll smoke it in a 320. Discrowned, you didn't answer my question. Are you in a metal band? It's okay if you're not. I was just curious. So we're going to go with the 320 Series 3. I really need to take some time to clean up a few of my Series 3s because they get smoked the most. And because I kind of consider them as knockaround pipes, they get taken care of the least, typically. So at some point, I need to clean the stems on these because they're getting a bit oxidized. Definitely not polished and shiny anymore. Which, who doesn't love a nice polished shiny pipe? But that's not one of my favorite parts of pipe smoking. Either polishing pipes or enjoying a polished pipe. Peterson's Perfect Plug from Rhinoc. I never can say your name right. Rhinopocalypse. There we go. Somebody should give me a medal for that. Kenjiro is dropping some knowledge bombs on us about organic oils and why not put them on your unfinished pipes. And it makes sense. Piper on the 45. Got some injured label. I think that's a voice to text snafu. Old Joe Red label, maybe? Yeah, okay. Dog Red. Call it Old Joe Red Dog. I miss Red Dog. That was a beer I had a decent bit of back in my earlier days. I think I mentioned its sister beer last week or the week before, Southpaw Light. I had a good bit of Southpaw Light back in the day. They were both, Red Dog and Southpaw were both made by Plank Road Brewery. No longer made anymore, I don't believe. I didn't warn you guys I was going to start lighting up. All right. So you guys, I don't know if you saw, but I've got a Savinelli 145th anniversary blend. Here, I got a 10 right here. Savinelli 145th anniversary blend. Partnership with Cornell and Deal. It was made here stateside by Cornell and Deal in April. Limited to 2,500 tins. And it's a Virginia Perique with some interesting dark fired added to it from the Tuscan Tiber Valley region of Italy, which is, it's the dark fired florets I'm pretty sure that they used in the 140th anniversary and a couple of their other special edition blends. But so it's got a bit of dark fired in it. It's also, you know, it's a Virginia Perique with dark fired, basically, which I always, seems like I come back to it all the time. I've said it quite a bit. If you've, you know, I love a Perique blend. I love a dark fired blend. If you put Perique and dark fired in a blend, I'm all over it. And so that's what that is. And when you open the tin, you know, I'm told there's a bit of a rum kind of tin note to it, but it doesn't say that there's rum in it. And it's definitely not, you know, soaked in rum. There may be a bit of rum used in the casing or whatever, but you know, none of the literature I've seen says that there's rum in it. So I'm looking forward to that, and I've been selling them at a pretty good clip. Hopefully there's some left by the weekend for those of you who wait till Friday or Saturday to order. I've gone through more than half my stock that was allotted to me in a day. Slow motion Piper. Welcome, sir. I let it get a little stuffy in here. I turned my air off and now I'm paying for it. Got it back on now, so it'll be nice and comfortable by the time we finish the live stream. That's how that works. I've been told with these split vents, like what I have in here, it's best to just run them all the time, night and day, but I don't know, in an area as small as the West Parlor, which is about the size of a two-car garage, if you can believe that, just seems like overkill to run it all the time when I'm only out here 8 to 10 hours a day. On average. But if any of you out there know more than I do about split vents, maybe you should let me know why it would be best to keep it running like that. I have run it overnight before, like on a kind of a hot day, and the next day I came out here, and I mean, it wasn't running that high. I had it on low, but it doesn't seem to self-regulate that well. So I came out here in the morning, and it was like 80 degrees outside and, 62 degrees in here, or 65 degrees, something like that. Definitely overkill. I wish I could just set it and it would stay in the low 70s out here and would, regulate itself like that. But it doesn't seem to, even though there's a temperature setting. Salami burley flake is good. It does remind me of some of my other favorite flakes, though. Like maybe McBaron's Burley Flake or Peterson's University Flake. Those types of things. Picking and piping, I do have some of the 145th anniversary left. Excuse me. Have a burp coming on. I wouldn't wait if you wanted to get some. As of yesterday, other places didn't have it available from what I could see. Let's see. There we go. Available now. Sasquatch, thanks for checking in with us tonight. Yeah, I do need to put some, I need to get some insulation blown in above this garage. It's empty up there. I did get an insulated garage door, so that helps keep, you know, temperatures mild in here, but, you know, Florida summers, y'all, it gets hot, so. Definitely need to blow some insulation up there. What was that channel name again? Looking for it. Discrowned. I'm going to look up and see if there's a band called Discrowned from Sweden. Because I don't think he ever answered me. There's a band called Discrown, or Discrown, not Discrowned. I don't know. I'm just wasting time now, you guys. My bad. Oh, I'm on top chat instead of live chat again. I wish there were a way to change that for good. Shaky Piper, welcome, sir. Dan Self. Seems like I knew a Dan Self in high school. Somebody Self. What was his name? Wes. I knew a Wes Self. Enjoying some mountain camp. I can't remember who makes mountain camp. Is that Cornell and Deal? I think it is. Tennessee Bull, welcome, sir. Glad you can make it in. Hope y'all are doing well. You and yourn. How's our boy Jad doing? Old Joe. I hadn't been keeping up with y'all's videos lately. I need to crawl your YouTube channels. Mert, I'm doing all right. I hope you're the same. Paul, thank you so much for the thumbs up requests. Yeah, I have one thumbs up. Guys, come on. And then again, I'm not exactly high energy this evening, which was another reason I was thinking I might cancel until the last minute. And then I said, I'll just do it. Because I usually feel better. It's like exercise. Well, maybe not quite. It is similar to exercise in that once you do a live stream, you typically feel better afterwards. I'm glad you've done it. Shaky Piper, this is a 320. And I'm about to pull my mic off. This is a 321. Right there. So that's kind of the size difference. The 320 is fairly bigger than the 321. That's a standard kind of, maybe Prince Apple kind of size. The 320 is a big old bowl. Burning wooden spoons. I don't know if I should take that literally or if that's a Tennessee term. I don't know. Yeah, the band on that 321, it's a green swirled acrylic band. That was the Impero series, which I used to carry, but Savinelli discontinued it. It's a shame, because that was one of my favorite series, one of my personal favorite series. Okay, bye Sasquatch. Slow motion Piper, that is the question of the month. Any word on Savinelli restocks? Because you guys, I'm sure, have noticed on the Pipe Nook and maybe even other sites that Savinelli pipes are steadily selling out. I mean, it's not like they're not available. I've got tons of Savinelli pipes, but like the best sellers are selling out. Like my Series 3 pipes, I'm almost completely out of Series 3s at this point. I special order my Series 3s because they're 9mm filtered. And my last order, I believe I placed in January and still don't have it in May. So here's hoping. Here's hoping soon because, again, like I said, they're my best sellers, but not when I don't have them to sell. So whenever I get them back in, whether it's later this month or next month or 3 months from now, I hope not, but I will send out an email letting you guys know that I've got several Series 3 pipes back in stock. Whenever that may be. Do I have any 6 19 Savinellis. 619. I'm not familiar with that shape. Let's see. $6.19. Oh, it's an EX shape. I don't have any 619s. Who was that, Bull? But man, if you ever want me to special order anything, you let me know, and we can do that as a special order. And that goes for all y'all out there. I can and do and greatly appreciate special orders, because that means I don't carry something, but you guys want to support me, even though a product is available elsewhere. You would rather buy it from me, and that just speaks volumes, and I greatly appreciate the special orders that come my way. So just keep that in mind, Tennessee Bull. I thought, Vision, I thought I had doubloon Doro in stock. Did I sell out? Let's see. Well, I guess I am sold out. Let me make sure it's on the reorders list. And it is. So apparently it got back ordered, because I ordered it back on 4/10 and it didn't come with that order. Some other tobaccos are suffering like that too, as far as restocks and things being out of stock. The Guiabilio Doro has been out of stock for some time and still back ordered. Gosh, let's see, where am I at? No idea about the 6mm filters being back in stock. That might be something that we don't see, the balsa filters, we probably won't see those come back this year, would be my guess. And kind of what Savinelli saw as a stopgap, introducing those charcoal filters. I don't think they realized how popular those 6mm charcoal filters would be. So those are sold out still. The initial run got grabbed up. So hopefully those will be back in stock in the next month or two. But meanwhile, I've got other brands, 3-4 other brands of filters on the site. Dan, I am smoking some Solani aged burley flake. Which is a beautiful flake. A pretty big flake too. I mean, I guess that's a typical flake size. It's just kind of separating a little bit, but gorgeous, gorgeous flake. Vision. That Janus is good, the Savinelli Janus. All three of those God series are really good, and I think they filled a gap in what types of tobaccos Savinelli didn't have available in their line. Hi, Hollywood Briar. Oh, I had my famous comment jump. TV, break in that matches pipe with some haunted bookshop. Tennessee Bull, I do have, if you're talking about the honey motif series that Savinelli does, I think it's called Mille. And I do have some of those in stock. They're not on the site. But I am going to start carrying them. It's just a matter of finding the time to build it out on the site. I also have some camouflage pipes in stock that I haven't had time to build out. Again, it comes down to there's only so much time in the day, and I'm basically working two full-time jobs at this point. So yeah, at some point I gotta let the day job go, which is great. I mean, I say that like it's a bad thing. The only bad thing is, then I'm on the open market for insurance, and I've looked into some insurance, and for the kind of insurance coverage my current employer provides, it's going to cost quite a bit out of pocket to get. So, and I could go with a lesser insurance plan, but I have family members that have prescription medications that are very expensive without a good insurance plan with a good RX plan built into it. Tennessee Bull, have a good evening, sir. Wish you were here. We could share beer together. Savinelli has put the stops on me ordering any more like newer versions of 9mm aside from the Roma Lucite's that I have now and the Series 3s. Just because they're trying to ramp up their inventory and their on-hand inventory, both to the U.S. market and the European market. So they're not looking to import any new 9mm pipes at this time. But as soon as they lift that restriction from me, I'm going to start ordering Savinelli Trevis in 9mm and, you know, the Roma series in 9mm, whatever I can get. I want to have 6 and 9mm versions of every Savinelli pipe that I carry, if possible. But the pandemic being such as it is, we're probably looking at next year sometime before I can really do a thorough rollout like that. So take it for what it is. Picking and piping, there is not a Savinelli Series 3 poker shape. Um, Savinelli's poker shape is a 311, and they don't make it in the Series 3. Which I've always wondered about, because the Series 3s are supposedly factory seconds. I don't understand why they don't make all shapes in the Series 3, but for whatever reason, there's a limited amount of shapes that they make available as Series 3s. I don't know why that is. Slow motion, that ain't nothing wrong with those Petersons I've got, or the Rattrays. I love those Rattrays pipes. I wish they were more popular, honestly. Um, I love all the pipes that I chose to carry, and that's why I chose to carry them, the brands that I carry. But sometimes you just wish, Savinelli outperforms Rattrays by a pretty large margin. And I wish they were neck and neck, to be honest with you. They're both great pipe makers. Oh, let's see. Dan, that sounds nice, watching a Rocky Mountain thunderstorm. Yeah, smoking. There's something about smoking on a porch or an open garage. Any kind of little shelter, where you're not getting wet, but you can see the wet. You can see the rain. You got the wind blowing. Maybe even hear some thunder in the distance. There is something immensely satisfying about that. Just watching it rain while you smoke. Bill, I'm definitely not adding. Solani was on my short list of tobaccos to add, but I'm not adding anything these days. As a lot of you know, I'm actually constricting my tobacco offerings at this point. kind of as a preemptive plan in case I have to let tobacco go altogether. But for now, I'm holding strong with Cornell and Deal, GLPs, Captain Earl's, and Savinelli for my pipe tobaccos. Josh, I still haven't heard a final answer about the Carter Hall and Prince Albert thing. But I sure haven't seen any available. But I haven't been given a straight answer. But in the meantime, I decided to let the Codger blends go, so I won't be carrying Carter Hall and Prince Albert even if they come back. So I kind of sidestepped that. Arr. Teutonic Knight. What is your least favorite tobacco? I've gone on record in the past as saying my least favorite tobacco was Mississippi Mud by Cornell and Deal, but I know taste change over time, and it's been 6 years, or 5-6 years. I've had a couple of people tell me that's one of their favorites, and I should retry it. So here in the near future, I'll probably do that. And I can't tell you why it just tasted so bad to me. So maybe it was just not a good 10. Maybe it was a bad 10. But Mississippi Mud reminded me of that smell of a crawl space under a, an off-level house. I grew up in a house with a crawl space. And I had to spend quite a bit of time under there with my dad while I was basically his plumber's helper while he refitted pipes for the entire house. From lead pipes to PVC pipe, because that house was built in the 20s that I grew up in. But that's what the 10 note smelled like to me, was that ancient smelling dirt in that crawl space. And it didn't taste much better than that. So if any of you guys like Mississippi Mud by Cornell and Deal, let me know what you like about it. And let me know if that's the, kind of 10 note that you get from it. Fangs in your face. Thanks so much, man. I appreciate that. I can't tell from your little picture there, but that sure looks like the dude from Swallow the Sun. The singer from the band Swallow the Sun. Dan, I wholeheartedly agree that a man has to be, it is crappy that a man has to be married to a job just for the insurance. Yeah, it sucks. You would think my wife as a teacher would have good insurance available to her, but their insurance has eroded over the past 15 years. The last time we were on it, we would switch back and forth between my employer or her employer, depending on who I worked with and what their insurance plan offerings were. But the last time we were on her insurance plan, it just sucked out loud, and it's gotten worse since then. That was about 5 years ago. Piper on the 45, if you have a link to that information, I'm sure everyone would love to read any sort of article that you've found about Prince Albert and Carter Hall. I think Carter Hall was by far my best-selling codger blend or over-the-counter blend. Doesn't make sense that they'd stop making it after all these years. Paul, I've never smoked a pipe in bed. I've done a lot of things in bed, but not smoked a pipe. Unless that's a euphemism for something else, but we won't go down that road. Perique Piper. Skip, how's it going, Skip? We're about to hit the hour, and I really need to do better on that hour mark. Sometimes I'll go hour 15, hour 30. I think a couple of times I went an hour and 45 minutes, but family time is important, and it, you know, I don't get to spend all that much time with the family anyway, so I should probably start cutting things off as close to the hour as possible. Interesting. Yeah, the pirate cake is an acquired taste for me, Boris. I don't want to say acquired taste. I have to be in the mood for it. I never, Josh, I get it about the Carter Hall, but Prince Albert just never did anything for me. And I've had a couple of pouches that I've opened that, well, I had one pouch that I opened that it didn't even look like tobacco. It looked like cut up cardboard. And that's what it smelled like. It smelled and tasted like. But typically the Prince Albert just didn't, I mean, it just didn't do much for me. I would greatly prefer, I prefer the Carter Hall over the Prince Albert. I'd reach for the Carter Hall 10 times out of 10 if both were available. But I did carry it because it was an old-timey blend, a codger blend, and it does have its fans. And there's something to be said for sticking around that long. My concern is, if Carter Hall can't make it and Prince Albert can't make it, I mean, those are icons. What about the other OTC blends or drugstore blends? Will my great-grandfather's Sir Walter be around in 5 years? Hmm. It would be a shame to lose any of those blends. Piper on the 45, have a good night. Luke, you're welcome, sir. Steph, I am on Instagram. Somebody put yeah, I'm just the Pipe Nook on Instagram as well. I rarely do anything with it. That may change in the future. So definitely follow me on Instagram if you'd like. I've got about, 8,000 subscribers here on YouTube. I probably got about 1,300 on Instagram, but that's because I never post anything. Um, I mean, I have some posts, don't get me wrong, but it's not something I regularly do. But if this becomes the day job, if the Pipe Nook becomes my new day job, it can be a passion project that I can devote more and more time to, both YouTube videos and Instagram videos, Instagram pictures. Maybe even reopen I had a Facebook page for the Pipe Nook that I shut down, so it's inactive now. You can't see it, I don't think. But I'd like to be able to add that back. What I would love to see is the Pipe Nook just launch and just, you know, over the course of a month or two, something happens to the Google algorithms or whatever, and I just can't keep up with orders anymore. My orders double, and I just have to, it's a no-brainer. I just have to let the day job go. But that hasn't happened. It's slowly, steadily, like a turtle, running that race over the past 5 years. It's steadily grown. It's not something you see month over month, but at the end of the year, you go, oh, this was a better year than last year. And that's happened 5 years running. I would love at this point to be able to throw some marketing dollars into finding new customers, but because I sell tobacco, I can't buy Google ads. Same thing with Facebook. Now, if I were only selling pipes and accessories, I'd have to do my research on that, but I think that would change. I've tried to look into placing ads. You guys know I advertise on Briar Report, and that's great. Briar Report doesn't have the foot traffic of some of the bigger sites, though, like Tobacco Reviews. We all use Tobacco Reviews multiple times a month. I've emailed and emailed to try and advertise on Tobacco Reviews, never get a response. So I'm just kind of fed up with them at this point. Almost dropped my pipe. John, if they're still making Carter Hall and Prince Albert, where on earth are they sending them? Are they just making them and throwing them in a warehouse somewhere? Because they're sure not out in the wild. Nobody can find it anywhere. Infuriating, especially for people who those are their favorite blends. Carter Hall is one of my favorite blends, like for breaking in a pipe. It's not one of my favorite tasting blends. It wouldn't ever be an all-day go-to blend for me, but it's a good solid blend. But I always used it for my first, 2, 3, 4 smokes in a pipe, and then would move on to something else. Donald Hughes, welcome. Tony, I haven't heard anything additional about the Mamas Act. Steph, are you burning wood right now, live on Instagram? Let's see. Oh, I have to follow you, which means you have to allow me the request. Into steampunk and a seamstress. Do you make steampunk stuff? I would like to have some steampunk stuff. I'd like a nice vest of some kind. Maybe a hat. Pocket watch. Donald, we'll see you, ma'am. Daniel, my thoughts on Velvet. Well, I don't love it as much as Artful Codger loves it. It's a solid blend. Among the OTC blends, but it is a bit too aromatic for my tastes, personally. And I think it's a mild cherry. You guys help me out there. I've never been able to ascertain what it's flavored with. It's just kind of a sweet taste. Let's see. It's a liqueur. That's all I think they say about it is a liqueur topping. So between it and Sir Walter Aromatic, which is also a liqueur topping, My preference is the Sir Walter Aromatic. But yeah, definitely not a bad blend. Then again, you know, the next piper you ask may be like, yeah, I don't like the Sir Walter Aromatic. I love the Velvet. So, to each their own. I do still have some Velvet on hand. I had just ordered Velvet pouches when I decided to stop carrying the OTC blends. So I got plenty of it. I've got the pouches on sale for $4. Dominique, you're welcome, sir. I do my best to get stuff out the door quick. But then when I have to do a midweek email, like I did with the Savinelli 145th anniversary tobacco, the street date on that was yesterday. So I had to send out on a Tuesday my email. And orders started piling up quick, and I'm still not through that. I won't be through that probably until Friday. So some of those orders from yesterday might not get out until tomorrow or maybe even Friday. I try not to make that a habit, but it's that day job, man. Day job's cutting into my pipe nooking. Guitars I love. What's your favorite thing about smoking a pipe? Gabby, thank you. I love that pipe cabinet myself. Gosh, my favorite thing about smoking a pipe, it's just the whole thing. I mean, the whole thing. I don't know that I can pick a favorite thing. It's not the first light. And it's probably not even being in the chuff, as Smoke Rings Pipe Dreams talked about in his How to Smoke a Pipe video series. That point when probably where I'm at now, where it's just going really well towards the bottom of the bowl. Not all bowls do that. Sometimes you'll have a bad pack or whatever. But I would say it's probably either the second light after your first light, where you got that nice flat layer of ash going. It's ready to rock, and all the flavor's still there. That's probably my favorite part of smoking a bowl, but my favorite aspect of pipe smoking, that's hard to say. I mean, it's everything except for the cleaning of the pipes. That's my least favorite. I see that as a necessary chore. Oh, you guys heard it from Dominic. All the Carter Halls at the drugstores in Oregon. Time for a wagon train. Or is it Dominique? It's probably Dominique. Daniel, I have stickers, and I send out a sticker and a business card with every shipment, unless I forget. But usually a sticker and a business card. I've thought about other types of swag to put in the orders, but typically the kind of swag, you know, if you're talking about a t-shirt or a mug or something, those are expensive things. You can't just throw in an order. Typically swag's just a nice thing you get in a package. Like when I order something from Sweetwater Music, they always give you a little bag of candy. And I always like that. I look for my bag of candy every time I get a box from Sweetwater, which has been a while because I don't play guitar nearly as much as I used to. But typically swag that you put in an order doesn't get you new customers. It's just a nice thing you do for your existing customers. I really liked the little cardboard coasters that Briar Blues sends out with his orders. Those are cool. Or like the Aristocob golf tee tampers. Those are neat. I might do a run of tampers in the future. I think the Dagners have done that in the past too. Oh, extra pint. If you haven't loaded up already, I would go with the Windjammer. Oh. Excuse me. I had a frog in my throat. Daniel, I would say OTC blend for the Velvet. I've always considered it an OTC blend. Anything that's readily available, or at least used to be readily available, that comes in those pouches, I would call an OTC blend. That's just kind of a nickname, you know, term, but all right, guys, it is 6:20, and I said I was going to end as close to the hour as possible. So, we're going to call it. Thanks for hanging with me this week. Hopefully, we'll do another one next week. We'll chat with you guys again very soon.